and welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to count down our top 5 Christmas movies.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute since we've sat down and recorded something.
Yeah, so since the Chucky episode 8 review.
Right, yeah, I think it's been like over 2 weeks, so we're a little rusty. Yeah. And Ken is just recovering from being sick, so.
Yep.
But we wanted to get at least one Christmas
What do you
video.
do when you're recovering from being sick? You push yourself in front of camera and you put out content for the people.
Right. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we got out at least one Christmas video.
Yeah.
You know, we went so hard for Halloween, and so Christmas deserves a little.
Christmas is Christmas. Halloween is that's the main holiday.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, like you said, we're gonna talk about each of our top 5 Christmas movies.
Yeah, we're gonna do my top 5 Christmas movies, then your top 5, but there's gonna be some crossover here and there. So
yeah, we'll go kind of back and forth. And
there are 1 or 2 on your list that may have been a little bit higher up on mine, but I chose to kind of move them down a little bit, just in exchange to, have some different picks.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so before we get into that though, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you give this video a like and leave a comment down below of your favorite Christmas movies. Are they the same as ours? Are they different? Let us know.
We want to know. There's so many Christmas movies. I know when we were talking about this, you're like, I don't even know if I could do 10. I'm like, there's literally 500 Christmas movies.
Right, yeah. So
some that you wouldn't even think were Christmas movies, but
yeah, I know that there's definitely like a big debate on certain movies if they
the big one is Die Hard. Everybody always talks about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. I've only seen Die Hard a couple times, and I don't remember thinking of it as a Christmas movie, but
I feel like another one that's, I don't know, I think this might have come up in like one of your live streams or something, but Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, a little bit, just with the snow and stuff. But
I mean,
I don't think that's actually, is that actually set during Christmas?
Yeah, there's definitely a Christmas scene with like a tree and all that. So
yeah, there's also another big one that I kind of forgot about, but Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
I do consider it a Christmas movie, but also you can consider it a Halloween movie. So
yeah, that one's
do those two kind of cancel each other out to where
I
don't ever know when to watch that movie.
Yeah, I kind of lean more towards Halloween, but anyway, so yeah, let's get into our top 5. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is, I wanted to throw some classic picks up there.
Right.
You usually don't like watching the classic movies with me, but I've watched a few recently in the past couple of years that I've really enjoyed. And the one I've enjoyed the most is probably White Christmas.
Okay.
Which is also a musical. It stars Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, and it's a whole dancing musical number extravaganza. And I really enjoy that movie. It's one that, when I was a kid, my parents used to throw on a lot, and I would just like roll my eyes and walk out of the room. I never really cared to watch it, but when I watched it a couple of years ago, I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to throw a classic one up on there. So I'll put White Christmas on there as my number 5.
All right, and I have never seen it, so.
It's a good one. It's got really good music, and it's just a good, nice, feel-good Christmas movie.
Gotcha.
So I enjoy that one.
So I think, real quick, I think that our list, you'll definitely see the differences between our, I guess, taste, or I don't know. Yeah. I feel like mine are definitely more, what's the word?
We're going to cross over on a couple, but there's a couple on mine that I don't think you like at all.
Gotcha.
So that'll be kind of interesting.
I think I know. Like, I feel like mine are kind of obvious choices and not so much like thinking outside the box, or however you want to word that. But anyway, so my number 5 is Elf.
Elf's a great one.
Yeah, Elf. And I gotta say, I haven't always loved it.
Yeah.
I think even at one time I kind of thought it was a little annoying. But here the last few years, I know you enjoy watching it.
Elf's a Christmas Day movie for me. I like watching it on Christmas Day when I'm making breakfast and stuff. And
yeah, so it's definitely like grown on me, and it's just like a good, feel good Christmas movie. It's fun to watch with your kids too, because he's Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is he's just definitely very silly in it. So anyway, that's my number 5.
It's definitely the best modern Christmas movie, and I would say like post 2000s Christmas movie.
Oh man, I just thought of a movie. That's well.
Maybe we can do a couple honorable mentions when we get before number 1. So if you can remember it when we get there, then you can shout it out.
So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is one I've loved for a long time, and it's a telling of the classic Christmas Carol story, and that is Scrooged.
Okay.
Right, I said that right. A Christmas Carol. That's what it is, with Ebenezer Scrooge and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But yeah, Scrooge with Bill Murray is directed by Richard Donner, who directed a ton of classic films. But that's my favorite Richard Donner movie, and it's my favorite. Probably like in my top 3 Bill Murray movies. I love that movie, and I have to watch it every year. Usually when I'm wrapping presents on Christmas Eve, I'll throw on Scrooge. I love that movie. It gives me the Christmas feels, and it's a hilarious movie. So it's got Bill Murray in it, so it's got that classic like comedic wits and humor and charm to it, and I think it's the best telling of the Christmas Carol story.
Gotcha.
Even though it's a little bit unorthodox, it doesn't follow all of the familiar beats because it's more modernized. But I really love that movie, and that's one that I can never get you to watch.
Yeah, that is another one that I have not seen. So but my number 4 is The Santa Claus.
It's a good one.
Tim Allen. It's another one of those kind of, I don't know, nostalgic, classic Christmas movies, I guess, growing up. I don't remember when it came out, but it was like the 90s, right?
It was 1994, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So I was still, fairly young. Like I was probably the ideal age to watch that movie.
Yeah. That was probably Tim Allen's first big movie because he was on Home Improvement, the sitcom show, and then he did the Santa Claus and that kind of. I think the Santa Claus and Toy Story is within the same year.
Okay, yeah.
So that kind of propelled him.
Right. But yeah, it's just who doesn't? Wouldn't it be cool if your dad turned into Santa Claus? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
You get a look at the North Pole and. It's just, a lot of fun. So
it's got a really fun Judge Reinhold performance. The stepdad.
Oh yeah.
I believe he's a stepdad. Yeah. He's married to the mom, but
he is.
I think he's funny in that movie, and it's a good movie. Tim Allen's good in the movie. I think it's that isn't really hurt by the sequels, but I don't like the sequels nearly as much.
Right.
The second one's okay. The third one's god awful. So whenever I think about those movies, I always just think about I like the first one, and then the other ones I can skip those. Yeah.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is one that I know that you're not a huge fan of. It comes on Christmas Day for 24 hours straight, and it's A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
And that's another one that when I was a kid, I never really enjoyed all that much. And it would come on, and I would just kind of walk out of the room. And then as I got into my teenage years, I think is when I grew appreciation for it and really came to love it. And it's an obvious staple for me every Christmas. You got to watch the movie, even though I feel like I'm always watching that movie in pieces. Like I'll start watching it at the house before we leave, and then it'll be on at somebody's house when we're out.
Right.
So I never watch the movie in its entirety every Christmas, but I always watch every piece of the movie. It's just shuffled around a little bit, but it works that way. I think it is a very segmented movie, just the different parts and stuff, the scenes that you can remember. But it's a great movie. It's a classic. It's one of the most quotable movies. Christmas movies, you'll shoot your eye out and all that stuff. So I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, my stepdad loves that movie, and so I had always, seen it because of that. It's definitely not one of my favorites. I mean, I don't hate it, but So
it's a nostalgic movie that I feel like's grown in popularity over the past 15 years or so. And you'll see the leg lamp stuff and Fragile, all that stuff's just classic and iconic at this point.
But my number 3 is Home Alone 2.
Home Alone Part 2. That's an inspired choice. I like that choice.
Well, I know you like Home Alone 2 better than the original, right?
No, I wouldn't say better.
Really?
I think
thought you always told me that.
I do. I think I enjoy watching Home Alone 2 more, but I would never say it's better than the original because it's really just a remake of the original. Like it's almost the same story beat for beat, like just shuffled around different characters in different setting. But
yeah, so that's my number 3. As you'll see on my list, I love both Home Alones, but Home Alone 2 is just a lot of fun because, he's in the city.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's basically a repeat of the first, but still its own little,
there's some differences.
Yeah,
like the
it's
hotel
fun.
thing, Tim Curry.
Yeah, the hotel, the toy store. It's just a lot of fun, and I've definitely got to watch it every
Really fun
season.
roles from Tim Curry, Rob Schneider. I mean, it's got a really good like supporting cast in it.
Right.
I love Home Alone 2. I love it almost as much as the first one. I think if you ask me which one I prefer to watch, I'll throw in Home Alone 2.
Gotcha.
And I always liked it better when I was a kid too with the Talk Boy. I used to have a Talk Boy when I was a kid.
Right.
It's a good one.
Okay, so what is your number 2?
My number 2, and I think this is where we're going to get into our crossover, so we can probably talk about it together. So both of our number 2s is Home Alone.
Home Alone.
So that's just a classic Christmas movie.
Right.
I mean, it's, what can you say about Home Alone 2?
I know, I just
the best child performance of all time, maybe with Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, there's just something about popping that movie in or turning it on. And, you've got the opening sequence.
Yeah.
Where it's like the
house.
The house. It's like, animated.
That classic John Williams
music,
score, which they never intended to get John Williams to score that movie, but because he did, I feel like it kind of raised its even more to iconic status. The guy that scored E.T. and Jaws and Star Wars and
how you feel about
all of those classic movies. It's like this random little kids adventure Christmas movie. They're like, let's see if we can get John Williams, and they just so happened to get him, and I think it just it worked out for him because it's one of the standout things of that movie. I think is the music. Yeah,
it's just a lot of fun. The mom. What is her name?
Catherine O'Hara.
Thank you.
It's one of our favorites. Home Alone, Beetlejuice.
Right. Yeah, I would say Home Alone and Beetlejuice definitely up there. I know she is also in Schitt's Creek, but we've kind of dipped our toe in that show, but or at least I have.
We watched a couple.
But
episodes.
anyway, so it's just one of those classic Christmas movies. A lot of fun. And
it's a movie that couldn't be made now because cell phones and stuff. It was just if you leave your son at home, he'll just call you on your cell phone or text you or whatever. And it just not even in that way that you couldn't even make it anymore, but you just don't feel like you get kids movies like this anymore. Movies with a little teeth, like when he's setting the traps for them at the end, setting their head on fire and shooting them. It's like stuff that would easily kill them in real life.
Right. Things now are a lot more tamer and PG and a little more corny.
They're not going to show kids doing the kind of stuff he was doing in this movie because they'd be afraid they would mimic it or whatever. There's a scene where he's crawling up on these shelves and they fall on him. Kevin McAllister would have been dead, but he just kind of gets up and shakes it off.
Yeah.
So
we are down to our number 1.
Number 1.
Can you guess what it is? Drum roll.
What is it?
So every Christmas Eve, we have to watch, you going to say it with me?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yep. The best Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah. So it's just, I love that movie so much. And if I don't watch it, on Christmas Eve, it just doesn't feel like Christmas.
Because I've explained this before, but that movie, it's not a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas Eve movie because all the events of that movie lead up to Christmas Eve, and that's where the movie shuts off. So no part of that movie takes place on Christmas Day.
Gotcha. Yeah, but it's like I don't even notice that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you guys know that it's just
Yeah.
a classic Christmas movie.
The
It's funny and
the only Christmas movie that can rival Christmas Story and iconic and quotable scenes and lines is Christmas Vacation.
right. Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and it's another one that's like grown so much in popularity
right.
over the like I've been watching that movie, I don't know about you, since probably I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching that movie my entire life and I've loved it my entire life.
Right.
So,
I'm not sure like when I like first watched it, but I feel like I've loved it a long time.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's just so many funny things about it, and I'm looking forward to watching it in what 2 days?
Yep. And it's a movie that gets, more relatable
Oh yeah,
the
for
older
sure.
we get, I
Right.
guess, with like, me and Chevy Chase and you
Yeah.
and Beverly D'Angelo, just you can relate to the parents and what they go through during Christmas and
Right.
the hustle
like,
and bustle of it.
Dealing with their kids, and it's just
And then you got Randy Quaid and
the
the
in-laws
most
and everything.
iconic role of all time with cousin Eddie and
Oh yeah.
the shitter's full, and it's
Right. I mean,
feels like home.
it just kind of like makes fun of how it is when you get together with all your family. You've got people who are a hot mess, and just got people from all different walks of life. And so anyway, it's just fun. So
It's a perfect movie. I would consider it probably the one perfect Christmas movie. Home Alone is pretty close, but I think Christmas Vacation is like I'd probably give it like a 10 out of 10. I think it's perfect. I love it.
So there you have it, guys. There are our top 5 Christmas movies that we love watching every year. Like I said earlier, make sure you comment and let us know what are some of your favorite Christmas movies, or at least like, the Christmas movie that you just have to watch every year. It just doesn't feel like Christmas. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because this may be our last video.
Maybe our first and only video of December, but then we'll come back strong in January.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.